do you all know each other?
Well, me and Callum are related, obviously, because we're brothers.
Yeah.
And then we've known each other since growing up for ages, pretty much. Like, you know, all the melting pot of where we educate ourselves, all that stuff.
Right.
We all met there, and we've been tight since.
So you went to school together, or grew up together?
Effectively, yeah.
Did all of it, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty much.
And were you guys in bands before this? Because you all seem like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we
Compared to like other bands you see that just kind of turn up and be like, I can play
played,
guitar.
yeah, we played.
We used to, because we played together for like a really long time, but like when we were all at school and like did all that stuff, we didn't really take it that seriously. So it was more just having fun and all playing together. So we've actually played together for a long time, but then once we like,
this is Dave's first ever band.
Yeah, Dave's first ever band.
Well,
yeah,
first joke school bands.
Yeah. But so then we kind of like as soon as we left school, I say we took it more seriously, but maybe we didn't. But we like gave ourselves a name, so I guess that could and so I guess we've all played together for a long time anyway.
Alright, so what were you doing before this?
You don't want to know, man. No one wants to know. It's vanished.
We ran like a club night locally for a while.
Yeah.
And that was a good excuse for us to get up and kind of flex our musical muscle a little bit. Just we just put ourselves on, sort of thing, just to kind of
Every
just
night.
like the first on sort of thing.
I used to do that.
Do you know what I mean? That sort of so like we did that a lot, and then that's kind of not a huge amount really other than that. Like we managed to do a bit of touring.
It was more us just kind of like learning how to play shit and
like learning how to play together.
Stuff
It's
together.
obvious stuff.
Yeah. So you got Dave in how long ago?
Probably started this year, so what's that?
Oh, right.
8 months?
January, December,
Yeah.
It was kind of our Christmas present. Gone quickly.
Yeah, it was a Christmas present.
Perhaps in a pre-vote.
I can't imagine it without him now. It's a bit weird.
So how long were you going before Dave joined?
Well, as
just four of you?
Broken Hands was what, like about a year and a half before that?
So like a year and a half.
Yeah.
He did the Burberry thing.
Yeah, quite. That was like about like.
It was quite early on,
wasn't it?
Really,
Yeah, like 6 months in. Yeah.
So why did you get an extra guy in?
Well, for ages, like a year before we actually asked Dave, me and Tom were like, because we've been so tight knit, it'd be really hard to ask somebody else in. Or it might be weird for them.
Yeah.
But like I said to Tom one night, because we've known Dave for ages, and Dave like has got like more of like. Really, he's got more electronic music background until he moved us, like hospitality, drum and bass. But like, but like, I was just like, he'd be the right person. It's more important that we all mutually got on with each other. And the reason we got him is because we knew that we were going to need like the stuff we wanted to do, like what we're doing in the music now. We needed like the keys. We need like also because we run like our own light show from stage.
Yeah.
We were trying to do it ourselves. It was too much, and then Dave just masterminded it, and I took that over as well. So. It was the natural thing. We needed somebody else.
I mean, we could have got a backing track. And
there's always time. It's always the threat to be replaced.
We're gonna get a drum machine, mate.
It's nice because aside from Dave playing all that kind of stuff, we grew up. You know, it was at school together, so we all listened. We all discovered shit at the same time.
All the same sort of time, yeah. So it was all natural.
Slipstream.
All the same melting pot, yeah.
It wasn't like get in and you go, oh, do you remember that time we found that record? And then thought, what if the new person's going to go, no?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't like that.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
Dave was mutually agreed with.
Yeah, I guess
we all splinter off in our own kind of direction.
But you never sit down and say that to each other.
No.
It's just one of those unsaid things that everyone just knows exactly what we're into, sort of thing. That's like quite important, I think, actually, when you're trying to sit in a van with each other for ages.
Yeah. So I remember when we were talking outside Dingwalls, you and Ginger Guy were getting quite deep about airplanes and engines, and he was getting a bit weird. And you were saying about what you said to him. I remember saying I can get very deep for you about this, about what Broken Hands is about and what your vision was. Yeah,
like it still is. Like we're working on the album. We're going to start it properly next month, like this month, August.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was we made music like for the duration we just said for a while, and we kind of just like say learning our feet a bit with it and kind of figuring out what we're about. And then like a load of my friends, our friends, went away travelling. And I dropped someone off at the airport, and I just came out of the airport, and I was like going like, okay, they're all going off to try and further themselves, like flying away.
Yeah. And
then like a load of other mates were literally just the other side of the coin. We just sat at home like furthering our minds in our front room like on a Friday night or whatever.
Yeah. And
I just thought that like that whole kind of taking off element of like rising, height, flight, and like the sound of engines and stuff correlates to like distortion of music and stuff. Like it just all seemed like a really good like sort of fun funnel to kind of work into.
Yeah.
So it's just like inner flight and obviously physical flight.
Yeah.
And then over the last sort of like, so it was probably like 9 months of us doing that, or like a year of us sort of working on that sort of framework.
Yeah.
Like obviously the ultimate flight is going to space now. So
Yeah.
like that's kind of like, it's kind of verged into a bit of that as well. So that's kind of like was the kind of the blueprint a little bit, but
Yeah.
when I've never worked in a framework or a blueprint before.
Yeah.
So to actually like, it was so much more invigorating because it's kind of like everyone could like have an idea that all made sense because we're all working in the same direction. Different takes on the same idea, and it's just like there's just so much more material straight away. Everything was like more instant. I don't know how that happened.
So was that you? So that was when you left the airport. You started thinking about that, and then did you like take an idea to him and say this is what we should be?
Yeah, pretty much.
Centering stuff around as like, and then splitting off from there, or was that? Or did you not even talk about it and just kind of just sort of?
Yeah, we actually did. We did talk about it. We did. Like we were talking about. I think we were just chatting about. It was that thing because we were kind of at home and like doing like the little bit of touring stuff, but everyone else was going away and like trying to like do their thing that they have to do in their early 20s. Like, well, I've got to go and do that. And we so we were kind of like at home thinking about it and like thinking everyone's gone, and we're kind of like, well, everyone's gone, so what should we do? And so we kind of end up writing about the fact that everyone's gone. But then that framework, it was kind of like it was a weird sort of escapism for us to write about it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
We were all sat at home in exactly the same space, which was doing exactly what we wanted to do, but watching everyone else not really sure about what the fuck they wanted.
Yeah.
And then Dale came home and said, I've got the vessel, I've got the vehicle for all of this.
Yeah.
And also
and
it's like, I
we
think
had it.
I think it's like relevant to loads of other people because we're just like one little segment, but there's going to be like people of like us all over the place, everywhere at the same time in their life. And like if all this can be defined to that moment, then that's great. I think that's like if music can be anchored to like one thing that people just can go, oh yeah, I kind of get what that means,
Yeah.
And we'd never had that before. And like I suppose that's something that we probably had been looking for really. Like that kind of like thing that we could relate, everyone could relate to.
Yeah.
Like we're that band on the side that does that.
Yeah.
Like they'll get that. Do you know what I mean? Like you might not like us when we're 35, or you might love us. I don't know. But, but I remember when I was like early 20s. Oh yeah, that was what I was about.
Yeah.
That's why it was kind of made a lot of sense. It sounded really natural to us.
Yeah. So it's more than like, so when you talk to other bands, they say things like, we all like the Doors, or we all like Led Zeppelin. So
well, that was a given. Like we spoke about. We all had that as a foundation.
Yeah.
But it was like, but then you start to realise there's so many big records been made around that. This is not a new thing. People have been doing this for years. All this early 70s stuff, like Dave Bowie and like, all that stuff. Like, all Hawkwind, all that. People were doing that. I mean, biggest English rock band, Pink Floyd, is all about that.
Yeah.
It's all about that sort of thing. Like in essence, it boils down to that. So it was kind of felt like and like all those bands started out as kind of like a heavier kind of guitar rock band or whatever, and they kind of fell into that sort of blueprint. So that's kind of
Nice. And so who are you? So like influences wise, like you've got your idea of how your, I guess like you said, like your blueprint. But how do you? So what do you listen to? And is it similar across the board, or do you all have like?
We kind of put it down because we obviously all got these influences from all over the place, as everyone does. Like, oh, what music do you like? You go, I like everything.
Yeah.
But like, you start to find music that you might not have liked, but actually fits your blueprint.
Right.
So like, like your stuff, like you get into like more sort of ambient music, like more kind of like space, like KLF or whatever, and like even to like Detroit sort of house music has got a lot of that sort of thing to it, which is nothing like what we make. Yeah. But you just hear sounds and stuff, and like the way they put stuff together, and that makes sense. But then, like we all like Secret Machines are a big band for us. Yeah. Like when we kind of hit that, we discovered them the same time that we discovered this thing.
Right.
And they were kind of like not so distant, far away from what we were doing.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't necessarily like copying someone else. It was just taking.
Yeah. Anyone who fit what we were doing.
From places and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think because everyone's individually got like a slight different, like we all come back to the centre that we all like, but like Dave was like kind of like more electronic, like drum bass stuff, hospitality stuff. It's like a different edge, but it brings like a different
thing
to when we're all writing together.
It's the same foundation. I'm still a rock person. I still do like the core foundation, but we've all got
we've all splinter off in slightly different.
And then, that demographic who's into that music, it's just like exactly what I just said about people when they're younger just going a bit mad, aren't they? Trying to expand their stuff and going into the woods and going a bit mental. Yeah. It's still all the same.
Yeah. So well, I guess because when you're young, you're in a very small bubble of what you're allowed to do because you're so young and you can't get out. So you get to a point when everything is open.
It does happen.
So you just go mental.
Do what you like. You go mad, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still at that age where
we can do that. So it's still relevant to what happens when we grow out of that. I don't know. Like, I don't think the second record we make will be like this. It'll probably be like a different framework that's relevant to us then.
Yeah.
So it's like, in some ways, but this is right. This right now is what it is for us, sort of thing.
You've still got quite a lot of innocent people, early 20s, and you've got people that have been through the mill completely, like torn themselves apart already when they were 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
No one's really clued in completely about what they're doing yet.
Yeah.
So
none of you guys feel clued in, or
no, we're a bit clued in now.
we know what we want to do, but
day to day.
it
changes.
But it's weird. It's like at first it was like when we kind of set it out or like spoke about it, and like we were like, oh, that's cool. That'd be a really good thing to sort of work towards. Like it was like we were working towards it, but then like 6 months in, it started working its way out into us. Like we started like living how we were writing.
Right.
Which is a bit weird, which is not like one of those things, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So like it was kind of not like we were trying to like fit a framework that we made. It was like actually now it rubbed off the other way.
Yeah.
So now I don't even think about it. But at first it was like, I guess it was a conscious thing.
Yeah.
But now it's not even, don't even think about it. It's kind of like, that is what we're about. That's what
I guess that's the best way to make like honest music. Because I was chatting to a load of other, I think we talked on the way up here about a load of other bands I was chatting to, and most of them were saying things like, oh, my dad listened to this, so I just naturally gravitated towards whatever it was they were listening to. Or they go, oh, my favourite band is X, so we basically just do that under a different name, but it's been done before. But I guess they don't live that lifestyle, it's just what they listen to, so they just replicate that on stage.
And I guess that's what we were doing before we did this, to be fair.
I think things ground you through life.
Yeah.
But we're not at that age where anything has grounded us yet.
Yeah.
And none of our friends have been really grounded by something like a kid or like a proper life-changing moment, happy or sad.
Yeah.
No one's been grounded yet, so
what do you think would ground you?
What would ground?
Having a kid, man.
Babies.
Babies.
Just babies.
No. I don't know. Like, I think like it will get a bit. This sounds so stupid. I think like it will get a bit spiritual after this. It will get a bit spiritual after this. Like
Buddhism.
Yeah,
Buddhism.
like
That's a wormhole.
It's a wormhole. That's already seeping into our setup. But yeah, no, I think like. Yeah, I just think like we'll probably be grounded when we're not playing together.
Right.
Because we've kind of got into this like whirlwind where we're all playing together, doing the same things, getting the same in the same headspace all the time. That I think that we will probably ground when the whole thing stops.
Yeah.
That's when it'll be grounded when it stops.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, okay, we just landed again now.
Carry on. You're only ever given more opportunities to just like yourself higher up in the air at the moment.
It's strange as well because
we've got some visitors to the trip.
We've never had visitors up here, man.
It's strange because if we actually
stop, man, we've got serious visitors.
It's strange because if we actually stop,
this has never happened before.
No, this is not. Like they'll be like, "God, can we ever go and
get Gunny out?"
What? Now the questions.
So when we're talking about like people that you like and stuff like that, when I first met Matt, I met years ago. When I first met you guys, and I was saying to Matt which ones are the brothers, like, because I thought you guys were brothers.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
And he was like, they're all like brothers. They all just pretty much do the same thing. He kind of like brushed it off as they're just the same guy, just 5 times replicated.
Probably. Well, we all live together.
Yeah.
So it's got very,
Before that, it was hotel room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
oh man.
And
I think someone's having a party up here.
I think they are.
You can have it a bit.
And mate, they're gonna sleep the fuck up here.
Yeah.
Still, we'll be going like that.
Well, we'll be out of here in a bit. Yeah, we will actually. We'll get down in a minute and we'll join you. No, it's not. It's. Oh.
Is this where it's happening?
Have you got a generator or not? Oh mate, you don't go to the woods without a generator.
Essential.
You gotta get a generator.
Toilet roll, generator, sleeping bag.
underage
guns.